Have you ever hesitated to share an idea, speak your mind, or post something online because you feared what others might think? That tight knot in your stomach isn't just nerves, it's fear. Fear of criticism, judgment, and disapproval. You might notice it every time you submit work, speak up in a meeting, or even offer a simple opinion in a conversation. That little voice in your head keeps replaying. What if they hate it? What if they think I'm stupid? This fear doesn't just make you anxious. It shapes your decisions, your creativity, and even your sense of self-worth. You might avoid opportunities, stay silent when it matters, or hesitate to put yourself out there because the possibility of criticism feels unbearable. The strangest part is that this fear often grows in proportion to how much you care. The more you want to do well, the more you want to make a positive impression, the louder the fear becomes, reminding you that your best might never be good enough. You know that feeling when you've prepared something for days, only to freeze at the moment of sharing it. Maybe it's a project at work, an idea in a class discussion, or even a creative piece you've poured your heart into. When it comes time to present or share, your heart races, your palms sweat, and your mind fills with every possible scenario where it could go wrong. You imagine eyes judging, voices criticizing, and suddenly staying silent feels like the safest choice. Even smaller things can trigger it. Sending a text, posting a photo, contributing a comment in a group chat. Every word can feel weighted with invisible expectation. A simple typo might feel like an epic failure. A casual opinion might feel like an unforgivable mistake. And yet this fear often comes from a place of care. You want to do well. You want to make a positive impression. You want to be understood. But the intensity of this fear convinces you that staying hidden is safer than risking exposure. You may not realize it, but this fear can slowly steal moments from your life. Opportunities you would have enjoyed or grown from slip past because the risk of criticism feels too high. Ideas that could have blossomed are left undeveloped. Connections that could have deepened remain shallow. And all the while the inner voice whispers that silence is protection, when in truth, it's restraint disguised as safety. You might wonder why this fear feels so overpowering. Why does even the smallest act feel like walking across a high bridge with no safety net? Part of it is the way your mind anticipates judgment. Each time you prepare to share, speak up, or act, your brain runs endless simulations of what could go wrong. You imagine people laughing at mistakes, questioning your competence or dismissing your efforts, and suddenly, what should be simple feels overwhelming. The fear becomes a story in your head played on repeat, convincing you that silence is safety and action is danger. This anticipation is amplified if perfectionism has been a companion in your life. You set impossibly high standards for yourself, believing that anything less than flawless is failure. You rehearse your words repeatedly, revise your work countless times, and still hesitate, waiting for the perfect conditions that never appear. Each time you hold back, even when capable, your mind reinforces the idea that criticism is catastrophic, that exposure is unsafe, and that hiding is the only way to survive. Perhaps part of it comes from imposter syndrome. You may feel like a fraud, as though sooner or later, everyone will see that you aren't as capable as you pretend to be. Every critique, every minor correction, every moment of feedback feels like confirmation that you don't belong, that you're inadequate. The inner critic seizes on these moments, magnifying errors, replaying embarrassments, and predicting worst-case outcomes. The result is an exhausting mental loop where hesitation and self-doubt become constant companions. You might notice how this fear affects creativity. Maybe you've wanted to write something, compose music, or start a project, but the idea of someone judging it before it's perfect keeps you from starting. Or perhaps you have a great idea for work, a strategy that could shine, but you hesitate to present it. Every time you refrain, the fear is reinforced. Your mind learns that avoidance is safer than risk. And slowly, over time, this pattern can affect your sense of confidence, your willingness to engage, and even your sense of identity. Yet even in this heaviness, there is a path forward. It begins with awareness. The first step is noticing when fear arises and naming it for what it is. When you feel that tight knot, pause and ask yourself, is this fear about me, or is it about someone else's perspective? Is this criticism truly a reflection of my worth, or is it simply their opinion? With practice, you begin to separate your value from external judgment. You begin to see that you are not defined by someone else's approval or disapproval. You can take tangible steps to weaken the grip of this fear. Start small. Share your thoughts, ideas, or work in low-risk spaces, perhaps with a friend who supports you, a small group, or an online community that encourages growth. Notice how it feels to express yourself, imperfectly and without retreat. Each small act of courage diminishes the power of fear, teaching your mind that you can face judgment and still thrive. Along the way, your mindset can shift. You start to notice that mistakes are not the end of the world, that errors are learning opportunities rather than evidence of inadequacy. Criticism becomes feedback rather than a personal attack. You can train yourself to receive it with curiosity, not fear, asking, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve?" This perspective transforms fear from a wall into a doorway. Equally important is self-compassion. When the inner critic arises, and it will, respond with kindness rather than blame. Remind yourself, "I am doing my best. I am learning. My worth is not defined by this moment." Celebrate your bravery, even in small acts. Speaking up in a conversation, submitting a project, offering an idea, or simply noticing the fear and moving forward anyway. Each act of courage chips away at the power of fear, rewiring your mind to respond with confidence rather than avoidance. Over time, these patterns can accumulate, quietly shaping the way you live, the opportunities you take, and the confidence you feel. Recognizing these patterns is not just an act of self-awareness, it's the first step toward freedom. Another part of moving through this fear is understanding that everyone faces judgment. The truth is, no one can escape criticism entirely. It is part of life. Yet the difference lies in how you respond. You can let it control you, or you can take it as information without letting it define your worth. By repeatedly exposing yourself to these situations and reflecting afterward, you gradually learn that criticism is not an obstacle. It's a guide, showing you where you can grow, not proving that you are inadequate. As you continue to face fear, you may notice moments of clarity. Maybe you try something small like sharing a post online, and nothing terrible happens. Maybe a colleague offers constructive feedback, and it doesn't destroy your confidence, but instead helps you improve. Each experience slowly rewires your perception, teaching you that fear is a feeling, not a verdict. And over time, you may realize that the world is far less critical than you imagined. Often, people are absorbed in their own thoughts, their own fears, and their own judgments. The pressure you feel is magnified inside your own mind. This journey is not quick or linear. Fear will return. Hesitation will creep back in. But each time you confront it, no matter how small, you are strengthening your resilience, your voice, and your presence. You begin to understand that courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting in spite of it. That every time you take a step forward, you are reclaiming your freedom, your creativity, and your confidence. Fear of criticism is powerful, but it does not have to define you. Recognizing it, understanding it, and gradually facing it allows you to reclaim your voice, your creativity, and your confidence. Every time you express yourself, every time you take a risk, every time you act despite fear, you weaken its hold. Growth comes not from avoiding mistakes, but from daring to act, from showing up, and from embracing the discomfort that comes with real courage. Take a moment now and ask yourself, where in your life are you holding back because of fear? What is one small step you can take today to face it? Remember, each act of bravery, no matter how small, chips away at the fear of criticism, bringing you closer to the freedom of being fully, authentically yourself.